Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to a special night. I saw Susan. I'm like, I gotta have you on. I know I can't. I want to do this for the year, the brand new year. Have you here? I wanted it to bounce right off of 111, and I'm like, I gotta have you on. I gotta have you on, and I'm so thank you. We'll talk about who Susan is, what she does, everything else in a second. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Michelle, mi bella, and Reggie, and Cheryl, and Tina. I'm so excited for tonight too. Priscilla, our moderator. Were you able to get Susan's website? And it's really simple and easy. Susan, what is it?
Oh, it's www.susanowens.com. So with a Z, Susan with a Z.
Susan with the Z. Cindy, hello. Julie, hello. Leticia, all the way from California. She flew to Chicago. Good to see you, my friend. Diana, hello. Good evening, she says. Tina says to Michelle. Nancy, hello. Lori, hello. Joy, hello. Yes, hello from Chicago. Sue, hello. Desiree and Lily and Heather and Beth. Susan, were you around when Romper Room was around?
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. With this statement. Oh my gosh.
Romper, bumper, stomper, boo. Tell me, Magic Mirror. Tell me, is Emmy here? And she is. Yes. Kim and Joy and Michelle says, good evening, Tina. Amy, hello. Amy. Cheryl, hello, my friend. And thank you for spelling Susan's name correctly. I appreciate that. Miss Net, hello. Abby, hello. Okay. Milady, hello, Milady. Good to see you. Michelle and Laura and Michelle and oh my gosh, look at all the people you brought in. Maureen.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And Mandy, hello. Princess, long time no see, my friend. How are you? Good to see you. Phyllis, hello. And Ashley, hello. Trish, White Lightning Healing. So good to have you back on with us. Thank you for being here. Kimberly, thank you. And thank you, Priscilla. Thank you very much. Ellen Jane, hello. Sister Sledge, always good to see you. Misty, hello. Carrie, hello. Look at this. Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
Good to see you. Danielle, hello. Rhonda and Sue. And okay. And Tammy and Dee and Sheila and Jennifer. Woo! Lordy. And Ronnie and Ward. Hello, Ward. Thank you for being here. Greetings from Belgium. Thank you for being here from Belgium.
Oh, that's great. My friends in Belgium.
Here. So let me introduce to all 50 of you. Let me introduce Susan. Susan Owens and I met, now 51 of you. Susan and I met back in October.
It was the fall, yeah.
Yeah, because it was the end of October, early November. We met at Celebrate Your Life in Scottsdale, Arizona. Liz Dawn, owner and CEO and co-founder of Mishka Productions, Celebrate Your Life. She creates this beautiful, amazing conference retreat where she has all the top-notch authors and motivational speakers and people in this field to talk about what they do. And we sat across-ish kind of from
we did.
And we got talking, and you're like, I am a psychic, I am a medium, I'm working on my book, you're a world traveler, and look at this, look what a great job you did. This is just an amazing book. It's, Wisdom of Numerology, a concise, not like just a random house, concise guidebook to enrich your life through numerology. And if you guys haven't seen, oops, let me go this way. If you have not seen, I mean, she has it all out. It's really, it's such a great book available on Amazon. Such a great book. Is it also on your website as well?
Yeah, you can get on my website. Barnes & Noble has it. There's a couple of other websites that you can find it on. Amazon's the easiest. The other thing, the book is laid out that way. When you're flipping through it, it made me think about the borders. There's a lot of border space, and that's to take notes because I like to scribble all over my book. So, and if you're doing calculations, which is what the book's about, it's easy to write right there in the book, and then you have them there. So that's why that's the structure. That was the structure.
So you can tell, I mean, we know that you're psychic. I know that you're a psychic medium. How did you get into numerology?
Oh gosh. Well, I was introduced to it in the 90s, early 90s, and I started studying it a little bit and then raising kids, put it away. And it came back to me, a decade later, and I just went nuts. I couldn't get enough. Absolutely couldn't get enough. I was a sponge. I have an enormous library now, and I started thinking about what I've learned after doing thousands of charts. And I thought, you know what? There's no book like this. In fact, I have a mentor that is a published author. He's done real well. Lynn Buss. He has Forever Numerology. He's an amazing man. And he said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, this is what my intention is. I want to write a book, a beginning book for people that have heard about it, don't know about it, want to learn about it, but don't want to read an encyclopedia. And he said, oh, I think you've got something. And I think so too, because it's very simple. I like the way I structured it. It's not over the top, too much information. You want to know what a life path 1 is, here it is, page whatever, And then in the back, there's some pretty advanced calculations. So it takes you all the way through it. And of course, there's way more to learn about numerology than, I shouldn't say that, than is in my book. But if you want a good start, I think my book is a really good way to get a good start.
I think it's amazing. I mean, you talk about master numbers, you talk about a life paths, you talk about soul numbers, and even your name. Yeah. I love the name thing. That was really, and we have a fun story about my name, don't we?
Oh goodness, yes.
And it is awesome. So guys, Amazon, it's also on SuzanOwens.com. That's SUZ. It's right here underneath her beautiful red sweater. SuzanWowens.com. So please do that. Now, hi, Brayden. Good to see you, my friend, all the way from the land under. He said he is a life path 11.
Oh, awesome. Master number 11, 11 too. He's got a spirit. He's a spiritual messenger, that guy. He's got a book to write, or he's got to tell people something. That's what that 11's about.
And our friend Oracle Trish, she does readings as well. And she is one to watch on TikTok. She said she's adding to the cart now. She's adding your book to the cart right now.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love it. Definitely love numbers. Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about numbers. So my birthday is December 27th, 1964. Right. So what people would want to do is, for like, the first thing that they do is they want to find their life path. Is that correct?
Well, the life path is a pretty important number in the chart. There's 5 core numbers. I can tell you that. Your life path, which is the gifts that you came in with, that comes from your birth date. And then your destiny number, that comes from your name. Then there's your soul number, your heart's desire number, that comes from your name as well, and your personality number. And then a maturity number that kicks in about mid-30s. So those are your 5 core numbers that don't change. You don't change your birth date, and you don't change your name on your birth certificate. We use that birth certificate name because that's who you came in to be. You can change your name, but and all that does is bring in new energy from a different number. Originally, my name was Susan with an S, but I put that Z in there because that's an 8. Well, 8s are about business, management, money, and self-mastery. And I wanted that 8 in my name, so I changed it with the Z. But yes, back to your question. Okay, the life path number is easy to calculate. You add all the numbers in your birth date together. You just add them all the way straight across. And just to make it simple, you just add those up. And if whatever number you get, you add that together. And I'm trying to remember from yours, because we calculated it the other day when we were working together.
12, 27, 1964. So I'm doing 25, 12, 13, 21, 29, 30, 31, 32. Mine adds up to 32. It's funny because this morning I said, I don't know, I think it's 41, but it adds up to 32. So then we take 32 and we add the 3 plus the 2, which is a 5, right?
You reduce numbers in numerology. You reduce it to one digit, unless you get a master number like your friend had 11. But we're not going to talk about that now. It's all in the book. You can get the book and read it. But so yes, your life path is a 5, and that 5 is all about expansion, freedom, adventure. The 5s are the ones that really want to experience life. You're doing exactly what a 5 would do. You're putting yourself out there. 5s are charming. 5s are the great salespeople, the great speakers, the great promoters. And the 5s are also the 5 senses. They want to feel, touch, taste, smell, hear everything in the planet. That they want to experience all there is to life. So that's that 5 number, and it means a number of usually tremendous transition and change. So I'm guessing that your lifetime, I think we've talked about that already, is a lot of change, a lot of expansion, a lot of freedom, a lot of adventure. Yeah, definitely.
That's so true. So Lori had a question. But before Lori's question, I wanted to go to this real quick. Lisa said, "Hi, I was so excited about this. I rushed out of work." So thank you so much.
Thanks, Lisa.
Mandy says she's an 8 life path, and Priscilla says she's a 7. So we can go. It's up to you, Susan. We can go into it if you want or not. Totally.
Let me. I can do it. We can do it real quick. I'll tell you. Anybody that's a 1 life path, that boy, are you a leader? You're the one that's standing in front of the room. You're the one with the ideas, not necessarily the one that's going to complete them, but you're going to gather the people to create your ideas. It's all about you as a number 1. You're going to find yourself alone, standing alone, not necessarily lonely, but you're single number 1. 1 is a tendency to be a masculine number, so that brings up some other issues, but not a bad number. There's no bad numbers. Let me say it that way. Right. So 1, I'm saying 1 is the leader. Number 2, you are the ones that sit in the back, happy to sit in the back of the room and support that 1 being in the front of the room. You're great support. You're the diplomats. You're the communicators. You are the mediators. Don't like conflict. In fact, you will avoid it at all costs. But you make an excellent partner, an excellent psychologist, the therapist, that kind of thing, someone that really likes to listen to people and help people. That's your 2. The 3s, now I know this 3 very personally because I'm a 3. So 3 life path. Yeah, we're creative. We also like to talk. So there you go, Elias. I'm going to be try to stop me. And 3s are the communicators. We love life as well. 3 actually is a lucky number as well. We're very creative writers, dancers, artists, all of that creativity, because it's actually the 1 plus 2 is a 3. So you've got those 1 and 2 numbers added together, gives you that creativity of a 3. The 4s are the worker bees. They like structure. They think of a table that's got 4 legs, it's square. And that's what a 4 is. They're the hardworking ones. They don't mind doing the same thing every day. In fact, they relish doing the same work every day. They're the good accountants. They're the lawyers. They're the ones they're very focused. They also kind of get stuck sometimes, but they're the dependable ones. Say that. 5, we already talked about that. You're the adventurous ones. The 6, all about home and family. Home and family is important to you. Relationships are important to you. As a 6, you want to get married, marry a 2 or a 6. They're good people. Good about relationships. The 6s are tendency to be very responsible. It's another piece of that they love beauty, and especially home being surrounded by beauty is very important to them. So their home is very important to a 6. 7s, they're the metaphysical. That's the metaphysical number. So think about this as I'm speaking about 7, because 2023 is a 7 year. So we'll talk about that too, because I do want to talk about personal year. But
just hold on 1 second, Susan. I just want, there's a lot of questions here. So guys, you just add the numbers of your date straight across. So good to see you. Where is she? Oh gosh, I just lost you. Claudette is 97 equals 16. So 9 and 7 is 16. And then what you do is you add the 1 and the 6, which is a 7. Does that make sense?
Right. Perfect. That's exactly what you do.
Look at Desiree. She says Suzan Owen is amazing.
Oh, I love her. Yay. Congratulations.
Awesome.
She's just a grandmother. Yes. Yes.
Congratulations. And so does that make sense, guys? I just want to make sure that we're all clear before. Danielle, do you add the date individually? Yes, you do. For example, if my birthday is the 14th, do I add a 1 and a 4? Yes. So you're good.
Yep.
Just want to make sure that everybody is good as we do it. Sharon is like math phobia.
Oh,
good.
Oh, honey, I had to get help passing my accounting test in college. I am not but numerology is totally different. It's just adding. It's adding. It's not, well, there's a couple subtractions.
So once again, if your birthday is 13201, I'm making this really easy for my math head. Okay. 1 January 3rd of 2001, you would take the 1 and the 3, which is a 4. Then you take the 2, which is a 6, and 2001, and you take the last 1, and that's a 7. That's your path number. All you're doing is running. And hey, look at this. You got 70 people watching you, Suzan. 70
yeah, I'm so excited. This is great.
Yeah. So, okay. So going back, I'm sorry I interrupted, but I wanted, before all the questions came, I wanted to go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
No, that's really good. I'm glad we did that. And I should have had a little board to show you because, I'm a visual, right?
You're good.
So,
You're good.
Okay. But anyway, we were talking about 7. So 7's the metaphysical number. And it's a very inner working number. This is the year, they go inward. They're researchers. They're the psychics. They're the ones that ask the big questions, big life. Who am I? What's life about? What are we doing here? They're the computer wizards. They love research. They love to do the details. They can kind of get lost in themselves a lot of the time. They need their alone time. They need their time to rejuvenate, if you will. So they're kind of the loners of the group as well. Okay, so 8s are all about business management. If you are an 8 life path, you are either going to be really good with money, or life is going to give you lessons so that you understand the value of money. And so it's going to be about money, business and management, and understanding that actually the truth is that money isn't everything. You're going to understand the value of material and spiritual worlds. That's an 8. And a 9, they're the humanitarians. They're the ones that have experienced all through 1 through 8. They are the ones that serve humanity, the greater good. They're the ones that look at life and follow the golden rule, do unto others, and they don't understand why other people don't follow that rule. They're also the psychic ones. They're very spiritual 9s, but the main thing is that they serve humanity. 9 also is a number of loss, so a lot of their life path lessons are going to be through loss. Anyway, so that's all of them. I'm not going to go into the master numbers, but because the master numbers also correlate with single digit numbers. So buy the book. There you go. And you'll get all the information out of that.
So you just did about the life path. And what I love about this, there is a section for each number and it tells you. And I love that. I love that. Now, Lori had a question. What if you're adopted? I mean, I know this answer, but what if you're adopted changed? Do you go by your original name or your adopted name?
Okay, so fascinating, because I've been married once in my life and changed my name to my married name, but I've had 3 names. I'm adopted as well. And I didn't know the name on my birth certificate until I was almost 30 years old. And that's the number I use. That name on your birth certificate is who you came in to be. Now, Elias has had the same experience because his name on his birth certificate is considerably different than Elias. And I did a chart for both of them.
We can share it. So on my adoption papers, you guys, it says the unbaptized bastard child of Costanza Andreu. That's what it says. It is, I have no name, and it's the unbaptized bastard child.
That's just crazy. So I've never done a chart that said that before. I can honestly, and I hope never have to do it. But anyway, and what we found out, because there's a lot of numbers that are the same on both charts because your birth date's still the same. But when we started looking at your name, both names, Ambassador Child and UBC, if you will, and Elias, they were different, and yet you related very well to both of them. If what I remember, have you looked at it a little bit deeper, and have you saying the same thing? Because my experience is you kind of go out in and out of both of them, is what I would expect out of your lifetime, is that you're maybe sometimes more you're Elias and sometimes more you're the birth certificate name. Does that seem to fit?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny because there's a nickname that they give, like, it was just like cute little boy is what the nickname was. And I was in 5 foster homes before I was 18 months old. So I know, it's just, I didn't learn how to walk, Susan and everybody else. I didn't learn how to walk till my parents adopted me, because the shoes were too small. So I didn't learn how to walk until I was 18 months old.
Interesting. Wow, that says something, doesn't it? Okay.
Kelly needs a little help. So Kelly, it's
right.
6 plus 1 is 7. Then you go to the 1, which is 7, which is 8. 8 and 9 is, we're there at 17 plus 6. Okay. And then you add the 5. So I skipped that. So 17, what are we at? We're at 29.
19 what? She's a 19-1. It'll be 1.
You're a 1. You're a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got that. Good. Marissa says, I found out Conchita Ordonez was my first given name by orphanage. So I wonder if my birth mother gave me a different name.
And what's your birth certificate? I always go back to that, whatever that first name was. And it might be interesting too, Marissa, to look at both names and see how they turn out. But I always go with the first one. Absolutely.
Right. And you guys, just so you all know, that Susan does do readings, charts. She combines the chart with the psychic medium work. So it's fascinating. You do so much, and I just find it fascinating. Marissa says, thank you.
Well, you're welcome, hon. You know what? It's really interesting to me because when I started doing numerology, it was just the numbers. It was the numbers, and the psychic piece didn't come till later. And the other day, I was doing a pair of charts for a couple, and it was fascinating to me because I was reading their numbers and giving them an update and everything, and then all of a sudden, it got really clear to me that she had to write a book. And that was nowhere in her numbers, and it was coming through really loud and clear. So doing an hour reading with me, you're going to get more information than what's just in the numerology. But and I love doing it. So yeah, it's really fun for both of us. I'll say it that way. I love doing your chart too, Elias. It was really fun.
Thank you. Lily has a question. Do you use your first, middle, and last, or just your first and last?
No, full name. Totally your full name. Now, the other thing that we really haven't said, because you do change your name. I'm Suzan Owens now. That wasn't my name I grew up with. And because that's part of it. You use your current name. So your current name is, whatever anybody calls you, Elias Patras. You don't use your middle name as your current name. It's just your name that you're being called. So we calculate that in numerology because that brings in different energy and different numbers, different number energy, as well as your birth date name. But yes, full name, absolutely, when you're doing your original chart.
Okay, so what does Amy say? I suck at math, but I think I'm a 4. Anyone willing to double check my math? Okay. So we've got
1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 13, 4. Yeah, you're a 4. 13, 4.
What Susan just did so quickly was 1 plus 2 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1. And then it was, what was the 31?
13, 4.
13.
Yeah,
so 1
13,
3 is 4. And there you go. So you're adding everything across. Okay. So all you
keep
do,
adding until you get 1.
right. So you get one digit, or if it's an 11, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Angela says, what if your birth certificate was changed?
Oh, fascinating story. Okay. So when was it changed? I'll put that in there and I'll tell you the story. There was a guy that had, I think I told you this, Elias, that they misspelled his name on his birth certificate. His mother had written it out and they typed it out wrong. And so then she went back and she got it corrected. And then he changed his name. And so they said, all right, we'll look at all three. Well, the one that was closest to his life experience was the original one that was misspelled. So there you go.
Wow. Okay, we're going to do one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
If the name has been changed pretty close to your birth, it may not make much difference. But I still would go with the name, the original name.
We're going to add one more, guys, because it's really, honestly, just clear up the math thing. Okay. Just go add up one by one. We'll do words. So we've got, obviously from in Europe, he's going to have the date first. Of that. Yeah.
Okay, it's still added together though. So 21, 22, and 7 is 29. So 2. You're a 2.
Yep. And
I can tell you a secret, but that'll confuse everything else. Okay. No, birth location doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing that we look at, there's major cycles that we go through in our lifetime. And the first major cycle, so 0, when you're born up to about 25, somewhere around there, is all under your birth month. Then we look at, and then the second major cycle is under your birthday. So, and I know in Europe that's reversed, but in numerology, it's still your birth month and your birthday. It's run that way.
Yep. Okay. Mandy says when she was 12, she was born with her mom's maiden name and they changed it at 12.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, go with your birth name, your birth certificate name. Absolutely. Can't say that enough. Yeah.
And the reason why you guys were talking about names is because in Suzan Owens' book, everyone, in the book, if you go and look, and you have to look at the soul number, you get the soul number, you get the personality number. But look how great this is. Let me see if I can put this in there. What?
Oh, okay, so that's okay, you're looking at the. Oh, right. In the back of the book is a workbook, right? It's a workbook, so you can make it out yourself. Yeah.
See, look what she did for you guys. You can figure out all the numbers with these letters. It's just amazing. You did such a great job with this, honestly, truly. And it's so easy. It's not like, like, I don't know, back in the day, did you ever get those numerology books? They're like this big. And you're like, what the hell are you going to do with this?
I know. And nobody has time to read that anymore.
No. And I do like that you have a little space on the side. That's smart thinking. Very, very. Look at Kelly's buying. I'm buying this tonight. Okay.
Thank you.
There are some awesome apps that help with that as well if you have a hard time with it. Excellent. Desiree says, I can't wait to get my copy.
Oh, thanks, Desiree. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yes. Thank you, Kimberly. It is. My name was changed from Loretta Lee to Lori Lee.
Oh, interesting. Still go with the Loretta. I realize that's not who you are, but you're going to use both of them because Loretta Lee was your birth name, but are you going by Lori Lee now? So you've got your birth name and you've got your current name. So you can still use both of them. It just means that your birth name is your destiny. That's what that birth certificate name is. That brings up your destiny.
And she goes over that. She goes over it in the book. And she would go even over it more. See where the sales pitch comes in? She would go over it more in person on the phone, via email, via Zoom, whatever you do. When my son was born, they made me use the father's last name. When he was 6 months, we changed it. What should we go by?
Use his father's last name. Absolutely. I would do it. And then again, you can use his current name. You can do both. because that brings in different energy. The numbers have a different vibration, a different energy. And I kind of talked about that. We went through 1 through 9 numbers. And so they bring in a different energy. And that's how I got into it. That's why I love numerology so much, is because, for instance, I know that this is a 7-year. 2023 is a 7-year. And
Right.
this year is going to be, like I talked about, an internal year, a metaphysical year, a year to do a vision quest, a year to really spend time going inward. So if I know that, then I know this isn't going to be a year to go out there and for instance, start a new business, even though I started it last year, but I'm working on it this year. But it's going to be a year. I'm definitely going to do more retreats. I'm going to do more work with Lisa Williams. And that's going to be my focus this year, as well as writing. I'm researching another book that I'm writing about all my travels. So that's going to be my year. So that's what I'm saying, is this 2023 is a 7-year
Retreat year. Whoop, whoop. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it really is. Inward, personal growth focus.
This is crazy because I have my retreat in March. I'm facilitating it or co-facilitating it in Madison, Virginia. Then I'm co-facilitating a retreat in Ecuador at the end of March. Next week, I'm signing a contract to do another retreat in Oregon, so close here. And we're going to do a sound healing. We're going to do a drum making, crossing my fingers. So we're doing a lot of stuff. And I was like, because I'm from Chicago area, I always kept my retreats Midwest. I've never done one out of the country, and I've never done one in all these different places. So I'm so excited to hear that. Can you put up the book again? I can.
Thank you so much.
There you go. I've always liked my birth name over my married name. Should I stick with my birth name?
Your birth name's your destiny. So that's always going to be with you. Yep. You can calculate what your current name is. And if that brings in the energy you want to bring in, like I said earlier, that I put a Z in my name because I wanted that 8 business and self-mastery number in my name. So you can invite the numbers to work with you as well, but as many as you want.
Monette says, so Greece is an 8-year. Yes. So next year in 2024, right, I am planning to doing a 9 or 10-day retreat, co-facilitating a retreat in Greece. I'm calling it Empower the Inner God and Goddess. And then the following year, crossing our fingers, I'm hoping to do one in New Zealand. And then the following year, I want to do one in Australia.
Oh, fabulous. Absolutely amazing. Well, your year you couldn't pick a better name for your 2024 retreat. Empowerment, because that's what that 8 is. 8 is all about empowerment, self-power, self-mastery. Oh, perfect. That's going to be great. It's going to be a great retreat. Send me information on that. I might just have to sign up for your retreat, Elias. I think that's just sound really wonderful.
The one, March or June. And then next year it'll be the fall. But what I want to do is I want to do 4 to 6 retreats a year.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Tina says, is life path number found in birth date or full name?
Birth date. Life path is all about birth date.
Yes, me too.
So that's your gifts that you came in with. Like I said, if you're 1, you're a leader, 2, you're support and diplomat, and what I talked about before. So those are the gifts, and those are what you use to reach your destiny. And that's why numerology has been so valuable to me. I mean, I already knew I like to talk, but now that I know I have this creative energy behind me, with me, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I need to develop my writing skills. Maybe I need to spend some more time, doing those creative things and I do, but it's just, well, and the other thing is, like, I'm 66, right? So I've had a lot of life to think about this. But I would love to have known this information when I was in my 20s, for instance.
You and I both.
Yeah, it would have changed a lot to know, oh, yeah, you do like to do this. So it helps structure my life. Let me say it that way. It really does help.
I get it. Let's see, what are people saying? You need to come to Denver. I would love to come to Denver.
Yes.
Find a retreat center. And Scotland,
Oh,
Scotland and Ireland, I'd love to go to. As my dad would say, do you know that the patron saint of Scotland is Saint Andrew? And Saint Andrew was Greek. So my dad always threw the Greek thing in there.
I
Um,
love it. I love
yes.
it. I was in
You,
Scotland this summer, by the way. I love Scotland.
you
Love
were?
Scotland. Oh, love Scotland.
I,
Yeah,
you know, I'm so
fabulous.
fascinated by accents. And I really believe that the accents are because of our past lives. I really think
Oh, I
that
believe that.
kicks in. Yolanda has a question. I'm reading a numerology book and it talks about two systems. Um,
Oh, Pythagorean, yeah.
yes, which you use your
Oh, and
birth
the
name.
Chaldean system.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
very.
Yolanda, I haven't worked very much with the Chaldean system at all, and they're quite a bit different from what I understand. Choose, find one that works for you. Seriously, the one I've written my book about is based on Pythagoras theorems. So
I love
that,
that.
yeah.
I love that. Going to need the numbers in my bank account for Greece, New Zealand, and Australia. Come to Virginia. Come to come to the one in Oregon. Come. Um,
Yes.
Marissa says, "No way, you look great. See, you
Oh,
don't look
thank you.
66."
Oh,
Yes,
thanks.
yes. Um, okay. Mandy says, "You're in Denver. What? White Lightning, I've done, and it was fabulous. Awesome. Denver is in mountain time. I know. It's not mountain time anymore, Emmy. It's now officially known as Emmy time."
Oh, I
Daphne's
love
like,
it.
Colorado. Martin, hello, my friend from the island of green. Come to Ireland, please. You know that I want to. And the moment I say yes to Ireland, the moment I'm calling you to let you know. Please know that, my friend. Thank you, Priscilla. Do you guys have questions for Suzan? I'd love for you guys to ask questions. Will you
The
come back?
other,
I know we're not done yet, but I'd love to have you come
okay.
back.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. I love talking to you. I'm gonna have to call you later so we can just talk.
Of course.
The other thing I wanted to get into though, now that we've figured out our life path and adding your birth date together, um, numerology changes every year. There's numbers that don't change. Remember, we talked about the core numbers,
Right.
but there's also numbers that transit your chart and numbers that change every year. Well, one of them is every year is a new year, a new number. And the way that 2023 is a 7, and that's the universal year. Okay. Now, what's really important though, everybody has a personal year. Okay. So the way you calculate your personal year, and I don't freak out everybody, it's really easy. You just take your birth name, your birth day, your birth month, and your birthday, and you add it to 2023. You scratch out your birth year and you put 2023 in there, add those numbers all the way across and get it down to one digit again. And then that'll calculate your personal year. So, and that's another really, really important number for us because again, it changes from January to January. So I think we talked about you, Elias, and
I'm a
that's
19, which comes down to a 1, correct?
well, I believe, let's see, what do we do? 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 12 is 7, 12. You're in a 3-year next year. I'm pretty sure that's what your chart shows.
Next
This
year.
year, 2023 is
12 plus 27 plus 2023, right?
yeah, I think that's what we did.
Fine. So
Let me
3,
look.
5.
Oh, 2023. I'm sorry. No, I did it wrong. You're in a 1 year. 2023 is a 1 year for you. That's right. We talked about it. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'll start there. I'll start there with a 1 year. And a 1 is all about new beginnings. Anybody that is in a 1 year should be writing down everything they want to create in the next 9 years. So think about, where do you want to be in 9 years? Where do you see yourself? And what do you want to create? planting those seeds. It's going to be a busy year for you. You already gave me your schedule. Oh my gosh, you're all over the place. And it's a very full year. A lot of things will come to you. There'll be a lot of opportunities. This is a year to really step out there and really take advantage of those opportunities. A good year to risk because it's a 1 year. So honestly, I can't tell you, this is a perfect time for you and I to meet, because then you've got 9 years, right? I can't wait to talk to you again, throughout the 9, but see, we can look back 9 years from now and say, wow,
9 years from now, 9 years from now, I will be, oh my God, I'll be 67 9 years from now.
There you go. See? And it's great. 60s are great. I can tell you they're great. Okay. So, all right. So 2024 for you, well, I'll just go through all those. And sure. 2024 will be a 2 year. So those of you that have calculated your numbers and know that you're in a 2 year, this is a year to kind of sit back. It's not going to be that outward, I'm in charge year. It's a year to really sit and nurture what seeds you planted in your 1 year. Now, things will come to you still, but you're going to flow with the flow. You're going to go with the flow. You're not going to row your boat upstream. It's a year just to meet people. You kind of, people will come into your lives that you need. It'd be a year to cooperate with others and not take big risks. Oddly, a 2 year sometimes is a year that you might change your house. You might change addresses, which it's kind of interesting that might happen in a 2 year. I would say a lot of friendships will be made in a 2 year. Good year to look at your relationships. Intuition, 2 is the number of intuition. So really develop that and pay attention to it. Follow your guidance. That's the 2 year. The 3 year.
Hold that thought. Cindy, you're not a 12, you're a 3. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 2 is 3. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I hope I'm not confusing everybody. Okay, so a 3 year is all about the creativity. It's again a lucky year. Good things will happen to you in a 3 year. Money seems to come to you. 3s again are very creative, but sometimes they can get scattered because they've got all these ideas floating around. So good idea to get focused on one of them and see it through. Sometimes you don't finish. You got so many projects, you don't finish them. But good things come in a 3 year. Good year to get really understand your emotions and be able to communicate them. That's a big part of the 3. 4 year. Let me give you a picture. 2020 was a universal 4 year. So it's all a year about setting up a new structure. Well, think about what we did in 2020. That was our pandemic year. Boy, did we have a new foundation to build. We had new structure to set up. We had to figure out how to live with all those restrictions. That's kind of what a 4 year is all about. Not a year to take risks. Put your nose to the grindstone and get your work done. A 5 year, we talked about 5 and being an expansive year, and absolutely having that 4 year be a good foundation to jump off in your 5 year, because 5 year is freedom, expansion, change, transition. Anything can happen in a 5 year. It's a really adventurous year. A 6 year brings you back to home and family. We say with a personal year of a 6, if you're in that, people either get married or divorced in a 6 year. That's a big spectrum, right? So your relationships are going to be under the spotlight. I'll say it that way. So that's a 6 year. 7 year, we talked about introspection, do a vision quest, take Elias's retreats. I mean, oh my gosh, that's the year to do that. This year would be a good year to do that. 8 year, you're going to look at your empowerment, your self-empowerment, your self-mastery, your own authority, your self-authority, business, management, money. It's going to be a money year. It's going to come and go. Hopefully you get to hang on to it. Stay positive. I can't stress that enough in any of the chart, any of the numbers, but especially in an 8, to really stay positive and focus on doing the good things. And then also in the 9 year, the last one, that's the year to let go and really get rid of things that you don't want to carry into the next 9 year cycle. Things will leave. Sometimes friendships leave. It's a good year to clean out your closet, get rid of things, do service to humanity. There's a lot of really good positive things that happen in a 9 year. But again, things leave. It's a year about loss, but not always in a bad way. That makes sense. So there you go. There's
That
your
was
cycle.
awesome. Thank you,
Thanks.
thank you, thank you. Emmy says, I
Look at
think
my notes.
2022 is a 1 year for me, but I have no energy to do anything. But I don't want to waste the potential.
Oh, gotcha. You know what? Don't worry about that. If you don't push it. Right now, Mercury's in retrograde, and so is Mars, I think. So, pushing it right now isn't a good idea anyway. So it's all right. Allow the
Yeah.
energy to come with you. Journal, write it out. Still think about what you want to create. You don't have to go out there and do it, but write it down, whatever you want to create in the next 9 years.
And those of you that were born during a Mercury retrograde, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Okay.
Right.
Really important. Okay. I'm going to pop this on. Thank you, Priscilla. Whoops. Again, Susan's website is her name. SUZ. Let me say that again. SUZANOWENS.com. It is her name. And I will watch to see what this is all about. Okay, Gloria, come back and watch the replay because it's all about numerology. All about numerology. Time to dream and make a vision board. Sure.
Excellent. That's a 1 year. Absolutely. You bet. I would absolutely do that in a 1 year.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And again, as we talked about you guys throughout this whole week, especially yesterday, vision board, yes, set the intention, then feel it. And then after you feel it, then take action upon it. You can't just sit there. Susan, I don't think you've ever seen this. You can't just sit there and do this. I want a new job. I want a new job.
Right.
I want a new job. New job.
Totally.
And then you pick up the damn phone, people, and look at stuff, do stuff. You got to have action in that. Make sense? Thank you, milady. Thank you very much. I'm manifesting the heck out of March. Yes, you are, my dear. Yes, you are. So real briefly, you did your you've been taking Lisa Williams classes. So
yes.
on the psychic medium stuff with her.
Okay. I've done a lot of work with Lisa. I love her. I did a trance class with her in the last spring, and it was phenomenal. And then the one that we did with Barry Goldstein and Lisa at the CYL conference. I adore working with her. And then I've done a lot of psychic readings, mediumship readings, and psychic readings in the last few years too, that I've just really enjoyed that work. And I honestly was kind of surprised how it fit right into numerology. And I do tarot cards. I do all that. I do it all. I love astrology, but that was one thing that just felt overwhelming to me to learn. And I love it. I have a great astrologer, but I just never really felt like that was something I wanted to learn. And numerology just came so naturally to me. Oh, yeah, this makes so much sense.
Do you know our friend Lisa Nolan Shalowski?
The name's familiar, yeah.
He's a master teacher with Lisa Williams. And actually, guys, shameless plug, Lisa will be on the 21st. Lisa Nolan Shalowski will be on, and we're going to talk about creating your own channel. So we're going to talk about channeling, what that's all about. And so that's on the 21st at 5 p.m. And I'll get this in there now. Come Saturday, this Saturday, Dr. Stephen O'Connor will be on. He is the CSO of Live Labs. We're going to talk about creating health awareness. He's a functional medical doctor. He's the one that owns the retreat center in Ecuador. And Live Labs does a combination of hemp stuff and also does cannabis oil and a bunch of other different stuff. And they work with pets and we can talk about all kinds of health stuff. So you don't want to miss Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 o'clock Emmy time Mountain, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern. So super, super excited about that. Thank you, Priscilla, for putting that on. Um, let's see. Stephanie says, "This is so interesting. Can't wait to get my book. It comes on Sunday." Yeah.
Yay. Well,
Yay.
drop me an email. Absolutely, drop me an email. I mean, if you have a question for me, just send me an email. I don't have a problem with that. I'd be happy to answer.
And the email is Susan with a Z, Susan at, wait for it, SusanOwens.com. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Who knew, right? Class last night, this tonight. What are we doing tomorrow night? Well, tomorrow night, if you were signed up for Ecuador, we're having Dr. O'Connor, we're having Michelle O'Connor, we're having Jean and myself all talk about the Ecuadorian trip. So if you want to sign up,
Fabulous.
you can join us. But tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, I'll be on TikTok for guided meditation. So come with that as well.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Priscilla. And yes, soul chat. I do soul chat. Um, I do soul chat, Susan, which is 2 hours of metaphysical questions that they can ask.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. This is a great community to be part of. It really is.
Oh, I
People
love it.
amazing. They're amazing. Is it being recorded? Yes, it will be recorded just for you. I'm sorry. Can you tell me again? How do you do the name? Oh, so the name is different. The name in
Yeah.
will tell you how to do the name in the book. See, this is your birth certificate calculations. Okay. It's going to tell you all about it. You guys, the book is so reasonable. And it's on Amazon. It's on Susan's website. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. And she is doing something special for all of you tonight. All of
Oh.
you, right? Go ahead and tell them.
Well, no, yeah, if you are interested in a reading, either just a printout reading or an hour psychic reading and numerology reading from me, I will give you 10% off because you just mentioned Elias, and I'll give you a 10% discount. Not a problem. Be happy to.
There you go. There you go. Can you show the book over again? I can.
Oh, well, I can. There it is.
There it is. Wisdom of Numerology. I cannot believe a whole hour has gone by.
It's zips. It's so fast.
Right.
It's been so much fun.
It's crazy. Please come back again, Susan. This was so much fun. And I
Absolutely.
hope you had a good time for your first time on Facebook.
I just loved it. Again, I didn't believe it. It's been almost an hour. I just can't believe it. It's been so much fun with you, Elias. I'd love to come back anytime and talk to you. Talk to your
Please
people.
do.
Yes.
Please hold the phone because I want to talk to you off air. Off air, everybody. All right, everyone. Thank you all because I asked them today on TikTok. I said, please come and support you. This was your first time on Facebook, and I really wanted to just show you a lot of love. All 75 people in here showing you love.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the book. I'm excited for your journey and for your ongoing advancement in this work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And guys, remember tomorrow, TikTok. Oh no, am I supposed to be on tomorrow? Hang on, please hold callers. No, but because I opened up my big fat Greek mouth and said that I will be on tomorrow at 7:30, I will be on tomorrow on TikTok as a special meditation. I'll be on at 3:00 as well. Come visit us on Saturday with Dr. Stephen O'Connor. And then we also have Soul Chat in the morning and Sunday night on here, 7 p.m. Pacific time on here. That's 8:00, Emmy, on here for you in Mountain Time. Come here for guided meditation. All right, everybody. As we always say, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And we educate, we grow. From our hearts to yours, thanks for being here. Have a beautiful night, everybody, and enjoy. And remember, the wisdom is in the numbers. Okay, guys. Good night.